Number three, the third reason why I think men are so insecure in this time is because they're comfortable with escapism. Listen, one thing that I think about men that should never change is that if you want to be considered a man, then you have to be invested in your progress. You have to be invested in getting from where you are to where it is that you're trying to be. If you're not a man who's living his life in motion, I don't think anybody will ever really respect you outside of your family members, outside of people that already love you because they're around you, they've been around you. I think those people will love you. I think those people will make space for you. But I think you're gonna have a hard time in life having a seat at the other tables in life that you want to be at. And you can't be the version of yourself that you really want to be when you continue to find ways to run away from it. How can you become a great person when you're running away from your problems? How can you become a great man when you're playing video games all day? And listen, I know a lot of niggas gonna be upset about this, but when I was growing up, I was out here trying to find ways to make myself more attractive to women, to work on myself, to become better, to become more confident, to become more smooth, to become more skillful, to become more of a leader. I think it's kind of hard for you to do that when you allow yourself to be completely submerged in escapism, right? And I think escapism for men looks a couple different ways. Escapism for men can look like sex. Escapism for men can look like being addicted to pornography. Escapism for men could look like playing video games all day. If you want to play video games as a man, live your life. A lot of people are making money playing video games in this generation. Playing video games is now becoming a way that people can profit and take care of themselves and their family, which is something that a man is supposed to do. But if you playing video games all day and you ain't making no money, you playing video games Monday through Friday, and you ain't doing no kind of work on yourself, you ain't in no kind of gym, you're not educating yourself, you ain't reading no kind of books, you ain't becoming a part of no kind of community, you ain't going through no kind of therapy, then how can you expect your life to be great? There's no way for you to have a great life just by allowing yourself to run to video games or to run to pornography or to run to the strip club or to run to just anything, just running away from your problems if you do not deal with your problems. Comfortability is the biggest lie. I'm telling you. That's why my brand is called Halfway Up. And then I say you're never finished rising because you're always working on something. When I'm a father, I want to be a great man to my kids. When I become a grandfather, I'm trying to be working on being a great man to my grandchildren, right? I might retire one day, but that doesn't mean that I stop working. I'm always going to be working on something. I'm always going to have some kind of goal. I might not be in the gym lifting 300 pounds, but I'm going to be working on something. We living in a generation where you can scroll on your phone all day and you can communicate with women all day. Sometimes communicating with women is escapism. Sometimes kicking it with your homies on the block all day, that's escapism. Going to the strip club, escapism. Not educating yourself so you allow yourself to be inundated with movies and entertainment. They call it doom scrolling. You're just scrolling on the gram, scrolling on Twitter, looking at porn on Twitter, looking at TikTok, being on YouTube all day, you call yourself learning shit on YouTube because you listening to Gary Vee and you listening to Dr. Bobby Price, but you don't apply none of that. Even educational shit can be escapism. You have to apply yourself as a man if you want to get anywhere in this life. You have to apply yourself, not running away and playing video games all day. You niggas want to be in a basement all day, playing video games all day in a dark room. You get your ass out in the sun. Allow that sun to sink into your melanin so you can become sexy on these hoes, my nigga. Learn how to become the better version of yourself, and you can't do that when you're running away from shit, when you're running away from your problems, when you're finding a way to make an excuse and you allow yourself to become distracted. As men, we got to find ways to get out of our comfort zones. It's okay to relax. It's okay to want to feel comfortable. It's okay to kick your feet up. But you know what? Feeling comfortable and kicking your feet up always feel best when you doing it off of the fruits of your own labor. Now, when I Google the definition of escapism, what I get is the tendency to seek distraction and relief from unpleasant realities, especially by seeking entertainment or engaging in fantasy. The tendency to seek distraction and relief from unpleasant realities. Let me tell you something. How do you expect your reality to change if you don't work towards it? How do you expect your unpleasant reality to become better if you don't do what's needed to make a change? If you don't focus on progress, your reality will stay exactly how it is. It's kind of like when your mom used to tell you to clean the house, So you would just take a shortcut way. Maybe she on her way home and you realize like, damn, I've been here for hours and they ain't did none of that shit she asked me to do. So now you trying to find a quick way to do it. So now you throwing shit underneath the bed. You throwing shit in the closet, right? And so it looked clean. She come into the house, ain't shit on the floor, ain't shit on the bed no more. The bed looks made up until she opened the closet door. Eventually, you got to open the closet door of your life because you know what's going to happen? Too much shit is in there. And now it's harder for the door to stay closed, or it's harder for you to close the door. It's harder for you to close the door in the closet, right? Because now you done stuffed so much stuff into that room, you can't even get it closed. That's what's gonna happen to you eventually, as long as you continue to feel comfortable and bury yourself in your escapism and your preferred choice of escapism. At some point, it's going to get harder and harder for you to close the door in that closet. And then next thing you know, you're gonna be trying to push that door closed, and you're not gonna succeed at it, and everything is gonna come falling out. And now you're gonna have a bigger mess on your hands, all because you avoided doing the little work one day at a time, one step at a time. Listen, in no kind of way am I trying to say that a man shouldn't have things that bring him peace, that he shouldn't have downtime, that he shouldn't have moments of things that bring him clarity. I don't give a fuck what it is. As long as it's not hurting you, everybody should have some time to themselves. Everybody should be able to go to a corner where everybody isn't and to be able to relax and turn his brain off and just chill out a little bit. I think every man deserves to have that. That's not what I'm trying to insinuate by any means. But what I am trying to say is that there is a limit to how much you should allow yourself to have access to these things, right? If you're a man and you allow women to be your vice to stop you from working on the things that you know you need to be working on, then you are failing yourself. If you are a man and you allow yourself to be in a room and play video games all day so you don't have to worry about the real truth is, so you can distract yourself from the real truth that I'm scared to talk to women, that I'm scared to go out into the world and build something, that I'm scared to do anything to put myself in a situation where I wouldn't be comfortable because being uncomfortable makes you feel unsafe. At some point, you got to deal with these things. Because insecure men are not just the men who don't get women. Niggas who get women can be insecure too by constantly manipulating women and constantly having 3, 4, 5 women on their roster at all times. By constantly finding somebody to have sex with and distracting themselves from never dealing with the real problem, the real place in their intuition that they know the pain comes from. They never solve it. They never heal that. All they do is put a Band-Aid on it for a little bit, but the Band-Aid always comes off. Those men will always be a problem in society to themselves, to their family, and to everybody else because they're avoiding to do the work. Moral of the story is men who avoid to do the work are the problem. It's the men that do the work that are going to make the world a better place. It's the women that do the work, that don't avoid the work, that are going to help make the world a better place. And the people that continue to ignore it and that continue to find ways to run away from it, you're the problem. And I want you to not be the problem. I want you to find a way to get to a place where you can heal. You can face the things that you know that you struggle with. Because you don't want to struggle with it no more, realistically. Come on.